Well, hello everyone. This is Dr. Ayleen, and this is another dose of Medicine Walk. And for those of you who are listening in on Blog Talk Radio, this is Healing House Radio. So, I have managed to overcome a cold, which I have not had a cold like this in quite a while. And at the beginning of it, I did go and have a COVID test taken, and fortunately it was negative. So it was fine, but oh dear Lord, it was unpleasant. I'm glad to be back with you guys, and it's been, quite the time. 2020 is the gift that keeps on giving. And recently I found out that the soil in the mountain above Luna, come on. Come on. See, Luna, the the M cat. Come on. Well, okay. Here she is. And she has been having, she's been getting used to the idea that her best buddy Sam is gone, and, we've both been kind of getting used to that. So she tends to want a little bit more cuddling. But anyway, as I said, the mountain that I live on, because of the fire, there isn't a whole lot holding the soil together. So the sheriff's department has come around and informed all of us that we need to be ready to leave. And if things go badly, if the rains happen and a debris flow happens that's big enough, it could take out the roads, it could take out the power, it could take out the water, the water purification plant that just got going again. We just recently started being able to drink our water out of our taps again. And that's kind of a rough pill to swallow, because of the fact that, we were just all getting used to feeling safe, and now it looks like we're not going to be. And that can be hard. And, with COVID, having another surge, and people having to lock down even more again, when people just started to kind of feel like they could get back out into the world and things were starting to open up again, and now it's shut down, and even more so. So it's a rough time, because not only don't we feel safe, we don't feel like we have the freedom to do the things we want. And I know Thanksgiving was hard for a lot of folks who really wanted to be with their families and really wanted to see them and couldn't. And yes, it is kind of irksome to see, like celebrities and stuff, and, and rich folks having all these parties, or, young folks who decide that it's okay to throw parties for hundreds of people. And it can be very frustrating not to, be able to do the things we want. And it's even more frustrating when we see that others are not following the same rules. And that's the sort of thing that is keeping us from being able to get past this thing. And, when I have people who come up to me and is like, well, I don't like wearing a mask, I tell them, neither do I. I don't like it either. Nobody likes wearing masks. Nobody likes being restricted. Nobody likes not being able to go to the restaurant they want with their friends. You want to get down? Okay, how about you go over there? There you go. Oh, there you go. So, and nobody likes this. And you kind of have to lean on that analytical left brain that says, okay, here are the facts, here's, the plan, here's the most feasible course of action, and we just got to suck it up and do what we need to do. That being said, the question is, sorry about that. I thought I turned that on mute. Quiet. So, the question is, how do we still find a way to feel good about it? Because the season's going to happen no matter what we do. The restrictions are going to be in place no matter what we do. And the trick is to figure out how to make the best of a bad situation. How do we kind of still hold on to the spirit of the season? And this is my favorite season. And granted, up here on the mountain, it almost feels like we had about, 2 days of fall, and now we're being thrown into winter. As soon as the sun starts to go down, the temperature up here drops drastically. And it does actually feel more like winter than it does fall. And so, and I love this season. And I love, the idea of it, and that home and hearth feeling, and that fellowship, and family and camaraderie that always went with Thanksgiving and Christmas. And some of us are having to recreate how we do things because the old family traditions are, in most cases aren't possible. Now, thanks to technology, we do have options. We do have the ability to connect online. And that isn't something that is available to absolutely everybody. There are people who don't have internet access. And being able to have an opportunity to connect is just not there for everyone. I'm fortunate that even though I live up on a mountain, I still have pretty good internet access most of the time. And for those who have it, you can do Zoom, there's a lot of different programs that will allow you to do like video conferencing and video chats. And that's good for the connection. And, for those who don't have internet, there's always phone calls and group calls and, things like that. You can do a conference call on a phone. And it is good, and it doesn't deal with what's inside of us, because there is that part inside of us that doesn't really, embrace change. There's that part of us that wants our tradition. And it may not have anything to do with anybody else, but just how you feel inside. How do you feel about this season, about the changes going on? And I think it's important that people acknowledge how much it hurts them, how much it saddens them that, that things can't be the way they would like. And, that's, I think, probably one of the most important things for people to deal with is what's going on, inside their heads, inside their hearts. Because, all the external stuff, yeah, we got to deal with that. And it's the internal stuff that really can make or break someone's ability to adapt. And there's a lot of people who are going through some pretty hard times and sad times, because it's not so much of not meeting up with people, it's what that means to them, what it represents to them. Maybe they feel more alone. Maybe they feel more disconnected from the people around them. Maybe, they're having a hard time. Maybe they're not getting a lot of phone calls. And, my thing about that is, with absolute gentleness and absolute respect, if you're upset because people aren't calling you, call them. It can be tricky, and it can be hard, and yes, we would love to have some people saying, oh well, I was just thinking about you and I wanted to call, especially old some of our elders. It's important to let people know if you need help, if you want to connect, if you are feeling isolated. This is the time when we need to use all of our other tools to reach out as much as possible, because it is, this is going to be kind of a long haul. Oh, okay, we'll pick you up again. Like Luna. Luna makes it very clear when she wants something. She makes it very clear when she has a request of me. She comes up to me and she meows. And she's going to keep meowing until I acknowledge her, and until I can let her know, okay, what is it? What is it? And I am making a point of being a little bit more, attentive to her, right now, because she is going through a hard time. And if an animal with a brain the size of probably about a walnut can decide, I need something and I'm going to let someone know, then I think we can figure that out too. I think we can jump on that bandwagon and embrace the idea that, yeah, I need to reach out and ask for help, because that's the best way to get it. It's the best way to get, if you want something in particular, what? If you want something in particular, let somebody know. Let people know. If there's something that's bothering you, let people know. If there's something that is weighing on you that someone else can help you with, let them know. Because if you don't let people know, when we don't express what it is we need, then all it does is become a resentment. And that resentment sits down there and it starts festering, and it just, it's like a weed that spreads out and permeates everything. And the other person may have no idea that there's a problem. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, you always and you never, and you're never there for me, and da da da. It's not fair. And if somebody comes at you with that, if somebody gives you the impression that you are not doing enough for them, it's like, well, what did you need me for that you asked for that I didn't give you? And don't let anybody put that on you. Don't let anybody pile that. It's these times are hard enough. We don't have to make it any harder. Don't take on what doesn't belong to you. If someone has an issue that they have not brought up with you, yeah, that's not your issue. And if they decide that they want to bring it up all at once, and well, and you and you and you, no, don't take that on. Don't feel bad for something that you had no idea was going on. You can feel bad that they feel bad, and they're choosing to feel bad. This season is about being able to communicate effectively in ways other than being together. If someone is feeling neglected, it is up to them to say, I need attention. And then have the maturity to understand, okay, but I can't give it to you right now. That's why it's so important to have a network of support, to have multiple people who you can call up, who you can talk to, who you can say, hey, how's it going? What's up? I'm not doing so good today. Do you have time to talk? And if that person doesn't, it's like, what? Why don't you give so-and-so a call? And, and I'm sure they'll be able to help you out. But, I can't do it right now, but I can do it in another time. So, what? No, you're not going out. Which means, it's like, because she's asking to go out. Now, it is already dark outside. And on the mountain, the only things that are out once it gets dark are predators and prey. And, I do not wish her to become a part of the food chain. So even though she wants it right now, and even though I will be as obliging as I can be, I know it's best for her not to get what she wants right now. And I have to, we have boundaries. Even with a cat, you can have boundaries. And you can be able to explain that to people who are, maybe requiring a bit more of your energy than you can give. And tempers are going to be thin. Tempers are going to be very thin right now. It's easy for people to feel, disconnected, and that leads to, well, I'm not being supported. I've been abandoned. No, you just need to be clear in learning how to say when you need something. So consider that if you're feeling bad because you haven't talked to somebody, well, if you can, call them up or send them a text message or send them an email or write a letter or anything. And if you can't, then you give what you can. You do what you can. And if it's something that either can't happen or that you don't feel is appropriate, then you just say so. And they will have to deal with that. But don't let yourself get backed into a corner, because then, they have their resentment, they lash out, then, you grudgingly go along with it, but that just means that you're building resentment. We don't need any more resentment in 2020, honestly. And the best way to avoid it is by people being open with each other. Somebody else chooses to be offended by something you say, as long as your intention was that, no, this is just my honest truth. I'm being honest with you. Don't let that get caught up in negative stuff. So, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other as much as you can. Have good boundaries and good reasons for your boundaries. And I think that we'll all make it through the power slide that is the end of 2020 pretty well. I mean, it's not always going to be pretty, but we can get through it with as much grace as possible. And the best way for us to do that is to be very open with one another, to communicate, to not let things build up, to not let things fester underneath, no resentments. And, we'll get through this. And we'll just hope that 2021 will be better. I mean, or at the very least, less. So, thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining us. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, then please contact me. You can leave them in the comments section. There are also several links in the description how to reach me. I also have a Twitch stream that I do on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays and Saturday evenings, 8:30 p.m. Pacific time. And that is a live chat. So if you have Twitch, then you can log on there to The Gaming Doc, which is TH3 Gaming Doc. And that is the channel I have on Twitch. And I also have it on YouTube now. So the Twitch streams I put on there. But if you would like to come in and get in on a discussion, then please feel free to do so. Otherwise, you can reach me through my email address is there, my Discord. I am on Discord. And if you like this video, then please like this video and consider subscribing. That would be really great and help me grow the channel. Anyway, thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you're all well, and, we'll get through this together. Hold on a second, Luna. And as always, I wish you balance, and I wish you blessings from my heart to yours. Love you, and see you next time. Bye.